I'm Diana Falzone for Fox 411. Geraldo Rivera is a celebrated journalist and host of the Fox News show Geraldo at Large. But now he's joining the ranks of reality competition stars on Donald Trump's Celebrity Apprentice. Geraldo joins us in the Fox 411 studio to walk us through this interesting career change. Welcome.
Thank you, Diana. Nice to be here.
Oh, nice to have you. So why did you decide to do the show?
Oh, gosh, that's a great question. I haven't really pondered why I decided to do it. Mr. Trump came to me and he gave me the idea. And I said, they'll never let me do it here at Fox.
Yeah.
But I'll check. And I checked with Bill Shine, who rented up the flagpole, to Roger, and I guess they said, Geraldo's bored, let him do it. And I went out and did it.
Oh, yeah. So boredom drove you to do the reality show competition.
Well, it was something, it's more than that. I mean, you try to do a bit of everything in life, and on my bucket list was a reality show at some point. So this is part reality show and part real harsh competition.
Yeah.
And there were some formidable names being mentioned. I said, well, let me give it a whirl.
Now, is Donald Trump a tough boss?
He's a tough boss. I've known him for decades. He hasn't changed very much. He's a driven person. He's highly intelligent. He's very motivated, very charismatic. And he is, tough as nails in the sense that there's no slack there. If you can't put anything over on Donald. Donald can see right through, someone trying to dissemble or spin stuff.
Well, if you've had a friendship with him, is it different to be switching roles where you're an employee versus, a friend?
I've never quite been a peer of Donald. I mean, let's be honest. When you're a billionaire versus a
you do okay.
news
You're
guy,
not shabby there, Geraldo.
I've done fine, and he points that out. But when I knew him, it was more, in a social way. We were single at kind of the same time. We were, having fun in that sense. But I've watched his career with great admiration, and now to really see him as an employee sees him, or as an aspirant within the corporate structure of the Trump enterprises is really it was fascinating. It is fascinating.
Who do you think at this point might get the words uttered, "You're fired"?
I am not going to venture a guess on that, and I don't want to be presumptuous for fear of being fired for telling tales out of school. But there's some formidable competition. I wonder how the athletes, for instance, will fare. You would assume that there'll be, a lot of it is just stamina.
Yeah.
It's a grueling schedule, so will they, because they're so fit, will they fare better? You have the reality housewives and all of the intrigue and backstabbing.
Yes, and they're very good at manipulating the
situation. And manipulation is what they do for a living. So it'll be fascinating. I feel in some ways that although I'm a tough guy and a street guy, I'm going into a place where I really am a novice.
Well, it's important to have allies on a show like this. Have you become friendly with anyone that you're thinking could be powerful to have on your team?
I can honestly say that I know Leeza Gibbons and have known her for a long time. And I don't know whether or not we'll be allies or enemies. I assume that we're all frenemies, and that sometimes you'll be an ally, and sometimes, just like the real world of politics and international relations, sometimes nations are allies, then next week they'll be enemies, and vice versa. So it will be interesting to see, and I'm also very frank.
Yeah.
I'm out there, and I'm not very good at dissembling or having a secondary agenda. I'm kind of a hard-charging person myself.
Yes.
It'll be interesting to see if my skills are transferable.
And if you win, you get a big lump of money that goes towards a charity. So where would you like to donate that money to?
Many years ago, long before you were born, I did an expose of an institution for the population we used to call mentally retarded, now known as developmental disabilities, and the institutions were closed as a result of the exposés, and now the developmentally disabled are cared for in small community-based residents, and I've been working very hard over the decades to open as many of them as I can. And there's a charity here locally called Life's Work, which was founded by the parents of the children who were in the original institution where I was doing the expose. So I've worked very closely with them over the years. We've done telethons and benefit concerts. John Lennon did a concert for me.
Incredible.
The Allman Brothers. I mean, we had John Denver, great acts.
Yeah.
And I did boxing for many years. We have a golf tournament to raise money, and I'll do my best to raise funds for this great cause that everybody embraces.
Well, that is just stellar. And finally, you did mention that part of your bucket list was being a part of a reality show. Will we ever see your life getting chronicled, the personal life of Geraldo?
Well, you know, Oprah did it a little bit. I thought about it, and we put it to a vote. And my children, of my 5 children, the 4 adults of my 5 children split 2 to 2.
Okay.
And you know, two of them wanted to do it and expose everything, and our life is so fascinating. The other 2 said, "Dad, please don't do it." So it's still on the bucket list, and we'll see going forward. But you know, it's an interesting group.
And we'll see how you fare on Celebrity Apprentice. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right, guys, for more on Geraldo Rivera starring on Celebrity Apprentice and everything else entertainment, go to fox4one.com.